Good job today, man. It's one at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Mr. Primetime.
Draft week. Welcome back.
Three days away from the draft. We are in smokescreen city right now, where you cannot believe a thing anybody says because everybody's wheeling and dealing and trying to misdirect everybody.
No, but we said the same thing last year. It was going to come down to Fashanu or Brock Bowers. Same conversation. So I don't see anything being different this year, unless nobody's there and then they trade down. That's a whole.
Yeah, there's a lot of curveballs. A lot of teams that are with new staffs and new agendas, and who knows, man. It's going to be interesting. So the show tonight is very easy. If you call in, we want the first 7 picks of the draft. Tell us what you think and why, and don't say because I saw it on YouTube.
Wait, the first 7 picks in terms of like rounds for the Jets? Or
No, it's just for pick 1 to
7.
pick 7, your first round.
Okay.
Christopher, thank you very much. Appreciate it. If you want to like the video, go for it. That'd be awesome. You guys are commenting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What the hell's going on around here? So
They're fired up. It's draft week.
It's draft week. What's up, Bubs? Tim? What's up, everybody? Prime Tim got a tattoo?
Yeah.
What'd you get? Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
What is it? Tribal?
No, it's like a sun and clouds, beach kind of thing. Some other
Right.
meanings to it, but yeah.
How long did it take?
6 fucking hours.
Oof.
It was miserable.
Did you stop in between?
No, just straight through.
Oh, man. Were you sweating?
It was pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty bad.
So were you laying down, or did you have to sit in a chair with your arm just straight down?
I was sitting in my chair with, the arm going down.
Oh, what'd you get it done at?
What's the name of the place? It's on Route 18 in East Brunswick.
That's where I went.
No shit. The guy who did it, I graduated high school with. So.
Oh, he's not like, does he have like all tattoos on his head?
I think he has like 1.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Make sure you put the ointment on it. When'd you get it done?
Yeah. Every like 4 hours I've been doing it.
Yeah. Do you want to put like,
I got it done on Saturday. So 2 days ago.
Yeah. Be careful, dude. You don't get no sweat on it. Don't get no clothes on it.
I know.
Did they put like a wrap on it? Do you have like a
it was
saran wrap on
it for a day, and then he said take it off after that and just clean it.
Keep it clean, man. Wash it. Put the lotion. Look at you, all hardcore.
But I got my broken hand, so I've been sitting around, nothing to do. I'm like,
how did you break your hand?
Remember the last stream I told you I was having issues with my hand? We made
Yeah.
the jokes. Well, yeah, it was actually broken in like 2 different places. My 5th metacarpal.
From the fall?
No, that's separate incident. No, this was kickboxing. Just hit the bag all effed up.
Were you wearing gloves, or are you going like bare knuckle?
Every now and then I do bare knuckle, which is stupid. But
Do you wrap your hands?
yeah, but I still.
You wrap your hands and you still hurt your hand.
Yeah.
You can't. We can't give you.
I can't win this year, bro. It's
How the hell did you? Oh my god.
Posted the dude, like the bottom part, like by my wrist, was like completely displaced. So thankfully, I just went to the orthopedist a little earlier. They said it's like starting to show signs of healing, so I don't think I need surgery. So,
holy cow, dude! I leave you for 2 weeks, and this is what happens. You get a tattoo and you break your hand.
Not my year, man.
Watch putting that in the sun, dude. The tattoo in the sun. Put like sunscreen on it and shit. You don't want to have direct sunlight on your tattoo.
No, I know they told me all that.
Yeah, that's important. You don't want to lose the color. So, yeah, look at this guy.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Brian broke his wrist trying to do a 40-yard dash.
Wait, what?
The hell
Did you fall?
What are you guys all doing around here? My goodness. All right, Armand with a weight loss update. April 12th was my 3-year weight loss anniversary. He started at 484. He's now 287.
No shit.
He's lost almost 200 pounds.
That's awesome, bro.
Armand, holy shit, dude. That's incredible.
That is awesome, man.
Good for you, man. Congratulations. That's incredible, man. Damn. That's wild. Jesus. Armin, are you going to Metallica on Memorial Day weekend? Because I want to go, but nobody wants to go. because this is on a holiday weekend.
Where's it at?
Philly.
Oof.
It's on a Friday of all time. It's like Friday on a holiday weekend. Like, it's brutal, dude.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So the draft is here. A lot of rumors, a lot of rumblings, and how we'll do it is we'll just go pick 1 to 7, share what you think and why. I think we could say pick 1. We all think is Cam Ward, no brainer there. That's probably the only known that we have.
Yep.
Then you go to Cleveland Browns, where according to everybody, they're going Travis Hunter. Do you think that's the case or no?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think Carter goes to the Giants because he already tweeted a picture of Lawrence Taylor. It seems like they kind of know where it's going. But I think this is the 4th pick is where I think things get interesting with the Patriots because I don't think it's a slam dunk Will Campbell. I think because there's some questions about him. They can go playmaker. They can go Membu. They can do a lot of different things. So you think they go Will Campbell?
I think they go Will Campbell. I think that's going to be Vrabel just solidifying that O-line for them.
You think he's a slam dunk, guaranteed locks, full, like great start for them?
I do, to the point where if he actually does fall to 7, I mean, assuming Membo's gone also, I wouldn't mind the Jets drafting him also.
Oof. The Jets are interesting because you're talking about, some of the free agent moves they made, and like they tell us one day they could be doing something else behind the scenes where they could be moving Tippmann to guard, AVT to right tackle, and having their line there.
I thought they already said they're not moving AVT.
I don't believe a word they tell us, dude. No. I don't believe nothing they tell us, but we'll see.
I don't know why they would want to move him, though. I mean, he was healthy last year playing guard. I mean, that's his natural position, so I don't know why they'd want to mess around with that.
Juan Soto 3-run home run. The Knicks are on right now too, right?
Yes, they are. They were losing last I saw.
Anyone going to Jake's party with Fireman Ed? Definitely go to that party. Jake, I would love to go, bro. I just can't get to the city. There's no way I can get there. So I would definitely go.
My hand wasn't broken. I might think about it because I'd already be in the city, so it'd be easy for me. But
so wait, what is the hand? Is the hand stopping you from walking?
I'm supposed to not be doing anything with it for the next week or so. I mean, this was 10 days after I got my X-ray.
Bro, you sit there and you watch TV and drink some beer. Like how? Like what is You're not using your hand. You use your other hand to hold the glass.
Train ride can get a little bumpy,
Oh my God! You're not 95. You drink responsibly. You hang out. Jake, you gotta get prime time to go to this, dude.
It takes me a while to get ready though, too, to shower and do different things. Put on clothes. It's not easy. Rough times, man.
This is the excuse you're using. You have to shower and put on clothes. I mean, you gotta make it work. Bro. How long is your cast on for?
So it's been 10 days. The orthopedist said another week, and then I started physical therapy.
Oh, you're ready to go. You're ready to go out, dude. You're ready to go to Jake's party. Go hang out with Fireman Ed.
I was gonna stream instead. I'd rather be doing this live.
Not me. I'm out. I want to watch it, enjoy it. I'm not streaming. You can stream. I'm definitely not doing that. I just because everybody ruins it. You see the chat. It's like,
no, you block the chat. That's what we always do. At least that's what I've always done. Put a little piece of paper over the chat. You can't see anything. You still get the natural reaction.
He said bubble wrap it. All right. So we got pick 4. You're saying Will Campbell.
Yep.
The Jaguars are interesting too. Where there's rumors say they can go Gentry. They can go Mason Graham.
That's what I think they're going.
What do you think the Jaguars do?
I think they're going Mason Graham.
Think so?
Going defense. Yep.
Okay. So if they
could surprise people and go receiver with McMillan. That wouldn't shock me either.
Jaguars are a complete curveball. To me, the Patriots and Jaguars are both curveballs. Then you go to the Raiders where it's going to be Gentry is the one that everybody's talking about. But then there's some buzz today saying that McShay's they can go Membu there, which would get really interesting.
That would be our luck.
All right. You got to go to Jake's show now. You have to go now. V-Man's going to be there.
Just to see V-Man. Now I'm thinking about it.
That's the content we all want.
What, my first interactions with V-Man?
Yeah, of course. And you do him a draft interview there. Jake won't care. Pull your phone, hey, V-Man, give us a couple minutes of your time to share us your insight.
That would be good content. You're right.
See? Primetime Geek did get a tattoo. Look at this guy. He's making moves over there. He's got a cast and a tattoo.
Yep.
Now you need earrings. You need earrings now, too. You got to go from full to full.
My ears are pierced. You didn't know that?
Are they really?
Yeah. I just don't wear earrings. Not since high school.
So can you still get in your hole?
Yeah. Yeah, the holes are still open. Yeah.
All right. So you're saying Mason Graham. So what are you saying the Raiders are going to do?
I think they're going Gentry. Pete Carroll going running back.
So then in your world, Mason Graham's available. Tyler Warren's available. Membu's available. And you're taking who?
Solidifying the offensive line. Throwing it back to the old Jets glory days, late 90s, 2000s, they had a solidified offensive line every year. The fact that you could have two young bookend tackles along with Tippmann, hopefully AVT stays healthy. He's part of the future as well. That's 4/5 of your offensive line that could be together for the next 5 years. So what better way to not only kind of go through with Aaron Glenn's vision of ground and pound, but to also set up Fields or whoever the next young quarterback is.
I agree. If you get the V-Man primetime musical duet, how these guys talking draft with a couple beers and some rum in him.
I mean, he goes guitar, I do some rap. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Actually.
You must see TV. All right, so we'll bring people on, give us your first 7 picks, let us know what you think and why, and we'll see where we can argue, because there's going to be a lot of arguing. Blade, what's up, man?
What's up? How's it going?
What are you wearing, a Jaguar shirt? What color shirt you wearing there?
You said that last time. It's a nurse's outfit thing.
Hey, how you been, man?
I'm all right. Just chilling. But
all right, so give us your draft order. So Cam Ward 1.
Yeah, and then I think it's the 4 of I think Shador's going 3. So Carter, Hunter.
Wait, sorry. So you go Cam Ward 1. The Browns are taking who?
Hunter or Carter.
No, there is no ors. You got to pick a name here.
Okay, I'm going Hunter then, because that's the smoke screen right now.
Okay.
Shador's
going to the Giants?
I think he's falling outside the top 10.
Dude, that's the mystery that we all see. It's like, if he doesn't go 3, where?
Saints.
You know what I mean? I hope he's there at 7, because that buys us the chance of the trade back.
But why? Just in theory, just to argue with you, if you're the Giants, you already have Jameis Winston, you already have Russell Wilson, and you're coaching for your life right now. To take Shador where you don't get instant return on your investment, they're not really in a position to do that, to be honest with you. Do they have the luxury to even do that when they have to win now?
Well, it's just the vision. You can buy yourself more years, right? That you hit. Fine. You say you win. You show promise with Russell. Then you can be like, hey, now we have the guy ready to roll to come in and start winning.
I don't think they're in a position to do that. What do you think, Prime Time? I think they
have
I
lost you.
Dude.
No, you're good. You're good. You're frozen a little bit, but I can still hear you.
I got you?
I think the Giants need somebody that can make an immediate impact, and that's not going to be Sanders.
Nope.
I can see it. That's just what I see it happening.
Well, no, this is your show. So now you're going to say Sanders goes 3. Who do the Patriots take then?
So Carter, I think Carter's just too big of a talent not to.
That'd be a nightmare for the Jets. Carter going there. Could you imagine?
Yeah, it's BPA and position of need for them.
Okay.
So, and then Mason Graham
to the Jaguars.
Mason Graham, yep, because just to match with the 2 edges, pretty easy.
Makes sense.
And then I don't know if I'm buying the smoke screen around Genty, because that's terrible just to address what pick you want. I mean, it's crazy. I'll say it is Genty, but that's bad GMing. I don't know what words I'm looking for here, but the telegraph to your pick. You know what I'm saying?
Well, who else is going to take a running back that early?
Well, you're just and just telling that people are going to get ahead of you at Jacksonville. It's just not good. It just sounds like something the Jets would do in the past. Just say, we love this guy, and then, he's gone because someone jumped ahead of us and got him. And that's kind of why I'm not buying the Armand Membu stuff.
Yep.
Even though it's just suspicious that we're linked to these guys all the time. I think it's going to be a surprise Jahad Barron or like a Jalen Walker for us. Not what I would do, but a surprise. Like, just, hey, we're going to solidify the defense. A Jahad Barron would be a statement pick. His pro comp is Brian Branch. That's like,
which is what they need.
Aaron Glenn's statements pick is what I'm saying.
All right, but so then what's your pick then? So you have all these guys on the plate. You're gonna go the way you're doing it now.
What I would do is this what I do or what I think is going to happen?
Both. Give me both.
Okay, so I think it's going to be a surprise pick. I think it's going to be someone we don't expect as a Jalen Walker, Jahad Barron. But I would do Arbon Membu because you can hide a lot of stuff in the offense. You can hide bad receivers. You can just ground and pound. How you hide bad receivers is keeping Justin Fields upright and running the rock. That's exactly what I would do. Right now. That's what I was saying. I would draft Armand Membu.
Yeah,
is what I would do.
And so, what do you think they're going to do?
I think it's going to be Jahad Barron or Jalen Walker. Where there's so much hype around it, I just can't. It's just weird. It's weird
But you know what? I kind of agree with you because the way they explain the right tackle position, or how they currently have guys on a roster, where they think they may have hold the fort guys, where it's not the priority that we think it is. With like we can get bigger value elsewhere. We have enough talent here to get by for now. Get a developmental guy in a second or third round and not worry about it. So I kind of see what you're saying too, dude.
Bro, you start piecing this together, the Pro Bowl incentive with Jason Myers, kicking ABT out. Let's get a guy that could play guard and tackle in the second round. Let's get our statement hit pick in Jahad Barron and just finish this defense.
I can see it too.
That's not what I would do. I see it.
No,
a Will McDonald draft plan.
That would bug the shit out of me.
But he's like, we don't know what they want to do, but they have a clean slate to say, listen, we want the best bang for our team and get the biggest impact player. And it may not be a position that we think it is. That's
right. And that Jahad Barron, he can play safety, he can play outside corner, he can play nickel. You know what I mean? And he is he would be the Brian Branch of this defense, which the last regime didn't value.
No.
And Aaron Glenn might.
All right. So if they don't go Membu in round 1, where do you find your tackle at? Is it a priority for you, or you say just go with what we have and figure it out with a developmental guy?
Well, I think so. If we're not doing the ABT kick out, right? If you kick ABT out, that you're what if they went in this draft thinking with Jason Myers, our line's solved. So we kick Tippmann over and ABT over. Our line's fixed. And then you take Arike. What's the dude out of Minnesota in the second round? You take him with your second pick, or Conley if he's there, from Oregon. You take the best.
Josh Myers. You kept saying Jason Myers. Give me a kicker.
Kicker flashbacks. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jason. Sorry, my bad. Josh Myers.
No, but it's interesting you say that because it does give him the flexibility. He's played with Justin Fields. You move Tippmann to guard, has already played. Their ABT to tackle. Your offensive line's not a priority anymore. And now it's like, all right, let's get our bigger value. Now the question for me is it better to have that impact player on defense or get a pass catching threat for Justin Fields, which they don't have minus Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall?
Okay, so say you have Jahad Campbell, and then the second round you take best lineman there available, whether it's a guard or tackle, so just a backup. And then third round, and then you like double dip tight end receiver third, fourth round. And then you just kind of take that. And so then you can be
I'd like to do that in round 2.
Me too.
Like Mason Taylor round 2 and then trade up round 3, a guy like Jalen Noel, somebody like that. Like that's what I'd love to see them do.
So where I was kind of watching some Dom C stuff, and where I kind of agree with him. I think this regime thinks that we can get by at receiver where we're at. It's just where they're going to plug holes everywhere else, finish the defense off, and then how do you hide bad receivers? You run the fucking football and you keep Justin Fields upright and give him time.
But you can't have 4 bad receivers either, though.
Right. I'm just saying that's probably the position that they're going to. So with the 4th round dart, you add that into this room. I'm just saying, I think I agree with Dom that this regime believes that they're just going to add 1 dart throw and call the receiver room okay.
Because when they're not trying to Reynolds, win. Alan Lazard, Malachi Corley's unproven. That's risky as hell, dude. Because in my world, though, I want to give Justin Fields the best chance to succeed, and that means giving legitimate playmakers. Don't give him guys that can't get open, and then you have all kinds of problems.
So say you take Mason Taylor with your second round pick, right? That's a second round guy. And then there's still like Keenan Allen out there, a bunch of guys you can go sign. Tyler Boyd type stuff. But with where I kind of disagree with you is the rookie their use of, I can't even think of his name right now. You just said it. The receiver. No, the receiver Jeff Flash.
Oh, Corley?
Corley,
yeah. Malachi Corley. Yeah, I wanted to call him Malachi Starks for some reason. But Malachi Corley, the regime, I don't believe that they used him to his full potential. And whatever they have no signs. Yeah, they have no signs of developing talent. So maybe they see him as a true 2/3. And so then you with your dart throw at 4th.
It's a bold risk.
Yeah, it's a bold risk.
And if Aaron Glenn is such a defensive genius, I mean, shouldn't he be able to get by with, get more out of less, essentially? I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
but
like
what
the
if you
priority
see?
just got to be Justin Fields and finding your future quarterback and making sure that if it's not going to be Fields, whoever you do bring in, they're set up with a great offensive line and some weapons.
If he's a defensive genius, what if he sees Jahad Barron as Brian Branch, or he sees Jalen Walker as Micah Parsons?
Yeah, but now listen, I'll give you that. Like, listen, if you want to go defense in round 1, I'm gonna hate it, but you better
Yeah.
go 2 and 3 better be like playmakers. Because
Yeah,
I
so
don't
what
want
if
this,
it-
like I don't want to like we've already took the half-ass approach on offense for the last decade. Oh, maybe this guy get talent, dude. And like
That's what I'm saying.
Second round receivers always suck. Well, be better at your job.
So what if your first pick's that random guy we're saying, that defensive dude, say even Mason Graham, right? And then your second round pick's the Mason Taylor, and then tackle in third round, and then dart throw receiver fourth round.
I mean, that's fine. I mean,
That's what sucks about going defense early, is that you're not getting a proven tackle / pass catcher. So your dart throws will be later in the draft. But I'm just saying, Tyson, and primetime, be ready. I think it's going to happen.
I don't
Always
know.
ready with this team.
I don't know what to expect, and I can understand if they say, "Listen, we can get this huge impact player on defense in round 1, and they could sell it to me." Fine, but then you better sell me the next 2 rounds. Show me what you're doing in terms of offense, because I don't want like Justin Fields back to throw, nobody open because Garrett Wilson's double teamed, and now we're like, sack this that, and the offense blows.
Yeah,
So,
and I agree with you. That's what I want to see. I want to see a vision out of the stream. So, like, even that Zach Wilson draft, even though Joe Douglas missed it, you could see what they wanted to do, right? They took Zach Wilson and then a bunch of offensive players to help him. And then after the 4th round, a bunch of dart throws on the defensive side.
But
Like, their vision,
especially with their free agent approach too, they kind of went conservative where you're getting your Josh Reynolds and Tyler Johnson and Stone Smart. They weren't getting big names like young guys with potential or like kind of hold the fort guys. At some point, you need like a legit stud. Like, listen, here you go, like a game-breaking talent. That's what you got to find. You got to add it, and you can say, well, Tyler Boyd's not that guy, dude. He's not. He's a good, solid receiver. But this is how you build your young core here.
Yeah. And if they do that defensive early, and then you kind of, if you see the vision for their later picks where it's kind of more dart throws, and then they add like a Keenan Allen, like I can get behind that, something like that.
It's risky, man.
And the risky thing is, if they went in this draft thinking their offensive line is solved, that's scary to me, because Myers was not that good of a safety. I mean, center last year was not that good.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of things with that. Like the offensive line for the Jets was bad last year, but they were also poorly coached. So now you're hoping in theory you're going to get better coaching, but this is an unproven staff, so we don't guarantee that either. So you don't. There's so many things here, but it's like I'm with primetime. Like if they took Membu, I'm like, cool, we got offensive line.
I'm cool with that too.
And that's also why you don't want to start shuffling guys around. I mean, let them actually
Membu would be my pick. Yeah, but that goes with Malachi Corley too, though, right?
I mean, to me,
we should. Yeah, I mean the coaching. That's what I mean. The coaching last year, I don't trust anything about like what
the rap on him was they said he was very immature. He was very immature. Wasn't getting the playbook, and like the work ethic was questioned.
Yeah,
which is
so was
under Aaron Glenn. He's not going to play either. Then he's not going to do that shit either.
Yeah, but so was Elijah Moore, right? They couldn't find a way to use him. And then Garrett Wilson, when he first came in here, we didn't use that. We didn't use him for like 2 games. Like we were just screaming, "Where is he at? Like, give him the ball." It's like they had a thing against like babying veterans, and then new people came in. They just did not know how to use him because this guy doesn't know how to run every route in the route tree. We can't use him in our scheme. It's like, it doesn't matter what kind of talent he is.
So now, where do you take on quarterback at all in this draft?
I don't touch quarterback in this draft. Me personally, I think you. I mean, if I did, it'd be 5th and later with the guy. But to me, you'd sign Justin Fields. You go all in with Fields this year, just like we've been saying, right? You go all in Fields, see what he's got to give you.
Yeah, you get a young kid in there. Like, no disrespect to Jordan Travis, but if you can get a 5th round pick, a developmental guy that has the same traits as Justin Fields, like a mobile guy that can run around, he's going to sit behind him and Tyrod. There's no pressure to play him, but to start developing somebody, dude.
Yeah, man, me personally, I'd burn that pick on like a linebacker, that someone we could develop to, take over for. That's just me. I wouldn't draft one, but I would understand it.
Okay. All right,
still don't know what Jordan Travis is either.
Right.
His health and things like that.
And so you're going to develop 2, right? And you're going to keep 4 quarterbacks, or
Listen, man, the goal is to find the quarterback. Next year, Tyrod Taylor's gone. You have no idea what Justin Fields. If you have a Jordan Travis and he's a young kid with untapped potential, it's on the verge of getting healthy. And you want another guy, dude. The more the merrier. I don't give a shit. The goal is to find a quarterback. I don't care about 4 at this point.
But we can all agree that Justin Fields was the dart throw to make out of the free agency quarterbacks of a guy who could turn into something, right?
That's the hope.
I agree.
Yeah. Out of all of our options, I think Justin Fields is probably our best one.
Yeah, and the thing about him, he's a high work ethic guy, class guy, team guy, going to be quiet. Just want that's now you hope he pans out and you build an offense around him where you go to his skill set. And the interesting is the Jets' approach talking about him is very different. We're like, we want to make him a quarterback. He made these throws at Ohio State. You can make him here. Like they're kind of like discounting where he was. And listen, we know what we can do with him. Now they just got to show us they can do it.
Yeah,
makes Garrett Wilson happy too for at least a couple weeks.
100%.
Yeah. Yep. Well, last thing is, with Tyler Ward, are you guys worried about the 1 year prove it thing? And he's a bad blocker at number 7. He was 5 years in college and only had 1 breakout year. And I'm not saying bad blocker, but he's not a great blocker.
Inline blocker, he's not good.
Yeah. Like, does that worry you guys at all?
I think his potential is there. I just don't think he's in the same class as like a Bowers from last year as far as what his playmaking ability is. So, like to use a pick on a tight end top 10, is the drop off from him to Mason Taylor really that great?
Even Loveland, even with his injury issues, like Loveland, I think is better.
Yeah, for sure. And then that stat they said I saw a while ago said in the last 10 years, there's been like 12 tight ends drafted in the first round. Only one of them hasn't won all-pro season, and there's only been 2 that have 1,000-yard seasons.
Well, the thing is, too, it's for us, we're prioritizing because the Jets have no tight end. You have Stone Smart, you have Ruckert, who's been a complete bust. So it's like, but is that a big priority for the Jets? Where they say, you know what, in order for our offense to roll, we need a very good tight end. Now, Justin Fields likes to use them, so maybe that is the case. But I get this weird feeling that we're prioritizing it much higher than the Jets are. We're like, we know we need one.
I agree.
But it's not round 1. It's going to be 2, 3, maybe somewhere else. Probably I just don't think it's
even if you get somebody in round 2, that guy plus Ruckert, Smart, like they could all see the field. Whereas if you go right tackle, that guy's going to be on the field every single snap.
I think it's just not the same priority it is for us as for the Jets. I don't see it.
Right. And that's why I think they'll value a defensive blue chipper that Aaron sees as a defensive blue chipper, that he's like, this guy in my scheme will be an all-star at the 7th pick. But we all want to trade back, but it's not happening. I don't think we're trading back.
Well, I think you can. If like in this world, you could trade back if Shador is there. I think that's the only guy. Maybe the Saints want to come up or somebody else. Maybe the Steelers. But I think other than that, I mean, who else is there? What's the big name that everybody wants that somebody to come up for? If most of the experts say like the draft is like a late first round, second round, that's where everybody wants the picks.
If Sanders is there and Membu's also there, and you could potentially get a haul by moving back, are you still doing it?
Yes, I would trade back 100%.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Yep. No matter if you can get a haul, dude. This Jets need players, dude.
Yeah.
I take it. I would.
And if you're finding your quarterback next year too, maybe some ammo for next year, trade back and take Colson Loveland. I would love that.
I like Loveland too.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I think.
Blake, good talking to you, man.
Yeah. Good to see you, boys.
Have a good night.
Good chat, man.
All right, bye.
All right. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
How you been, man? You look like you're stressed out. You all right?
I'm doing good.
You getting enough sleep?
Tired from all the draft prep.
Badly. What was that?
Tired from all your draft prep.
What's the score to Nick game? Anybody know?
Commercial.
Not sure. I have the Yankee game on, but I think they were losing at one point, but
Christ.
I don't know.
All right, so give us the top 7 picks in the draft. Give us number 1.
I'm pretty much with you guys. I think it's Ward, Hunter, Carter, Campbell, Mason Graham, Genty, and I think they're going to go Membu. I'd go Warren. That's what I would do.
Why? Tell us why.
Warren over Membu. Wow.
Just weapons. I mean, the tight end room's awful. I like Warren a lot. They need weapons. You get tight end. I think you look at the tackles. Like I think they could target an Ozzie Trapilo. This new regime's got to be able to find middle round tackle talent. Like you look at a lot of the good teams around the league, you should be able to find tackles in the middle rounds that can come in, develop. I like
The
Trapilo.
same thing can be said about tight ends too, though. By the way,
Yeah,
especially in a deep tight end class.
Yeah, you could tight ends as well. They got to find offensive talent, period, in the middle rounds, unlike what Douglas and Sal were able to do, where it was a lot of just defensive guys. But give me the pass catcher.
But I got
Give
a
me the
question.
physical, good
I'm not
yak ability.
I'm not going to agree with you. So, what is the drop off from Membu to the next tier of tackles, and the drop off from Warren to the next tier of tight ends?
Yeah, I mean, Membu compared to like a Kelvin Banks, I think Membu's athleticism is probably, I think athleticism wise, better. Banks can move around a little bit more. Like if you're talking about a trade back Kelvin Banks option in terms of like Mason Taylor or Warren, I think Warren's just more complete than Taylor.
What about Loveland?
Yeah, Loveland's good. I mean, he's again like if you could trade back to what 15, maybe if he's there. I mean, it doesn't feel like there's many teams that are willing to move up. Based off
Is like the goal to get the best value, like the sum of all parts. So you want to have a very good first and second round pick. So if you say I'm going to take Warren, what's your second round pick then? Is it right tackle or is it going to be a receiver?
Jaden Higgins maybe out of Ohio State.
Okay, so now you're going to go receiver.
Rather.
Right.
Or
so you're adding your assets and your weapons. Who's going to block who's going to protect the quarterback?
They could go a couple different directions. You could go Warren, two pass catchers, tackle, D-line, day 3, like a Jamari Caldwell, just a run stuffer. Or you could go Warren and then Tyleik Williams, let's say at Ohio State, get a run stuffer. Ozzie Trapilo and then Kyle Williams out of Washington State, who I like a lot. And then go 2 receivers, Kyle Williams receiver, Nick Nash as well, another guy you can go 5th round. So 2 receivers day 3, and then you fill up the trenches day 2, tight end day 1, 2 receivers day 3, target safety day 3. I personally think they might target RJ Mickens, just the history there.
Oh, yeah,
so maybe go after a guy like that. Couple guys too, like Andrew McCoob out of Texas, Jonas Sankar out of Virginia. There's a couple different safeties. I think they'll probably address that day 3, but I think the approach. Like you go, or if you go tackle, then you're probably 2 weapons, interior D line, like day pick round 4, pick 110, the first day 3 pick. This is obviously not calculating if they trade up, trade back, whatever, in like the next 2 days or after day 1.
But I think it's one thing if they're actually going to move AVT. I mean,
yeah,
that would make it a little bit easier to push the offensive line back. Otherwise, I feel like that's got to be day 1 or day 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you do if the Jets go defense in round 1?
I don't love the idea. I just don't love the idea of going defense. But in a world you do go defense, I think you've got to get a playmaker round 2, first pick round 2, whether that's Mason Taylor or taking a receiver. You got to get a pass catcher because you can't wait to get a pass catcher at 73. Even if you move up, you can't wait till the 3rd round. I think you got to get a pass catcher in your first 2 picks, in my opinion.
I agree. I definitely agree. It's interesting, man. There's a lot of different ways you can go, but it's like the more smoke screens that come out, like the more I think about this, I think they're not going to get Membo. I think he's going to be gone. I think he's just not going to be there because it just seems like it's like. What are your thoughts on Will Campbell? Like primetime, I'm like, makes you a little nervous. Do you like him?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if he's going to play tackle. He's got shorter arms. I think that's the biggest concern. I just don't think Campbell's going to be there. I think Campbell's going to Patriots. And maybe that's all smoke screens, but it just seems like the Patriots really like him.
That's why I don't believe it.
And yeah, it could be. I also just like the fact that Membu's a right tackle. Just slide him right in. You don't have to cross train, take, Campbell, play left tackle, move him with the right. That's a big preference of mine. That's why I'm totally on board with going after, an Ozzie Trapilo or somebody like that who is a right tackle as opposed to even a day 2 left tackle. You
want to get Trapilo in what, round 3?
Yeah, I think he'll be there at 73. Maybe you have to move up, but I think he'll be there.
That's a risky game, man. Sitting around waiting.
I hate the idea of waiting that long.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple. I mean, they're like
I wouldn't mind waiting like till round 3 for even a tight end like Terrence Ferguson, Gunnar Helm, like a guy like that. I'd be fine with
Harold Fannin Jr., somebody like that.
Yeah.
I just like the stress on Bubs' face right now. Like he started out kind of happy with the call, and the more we talked about prospects, you see the stress and the anguish just starting to wear you down.
They just have so many needs. Like they've got the way that they targeted free agency, they've put not only is this their first draft, they'd already have pressure, but they've put so much pressure on themselves with the way they targeted free agency. They essentially said, we're going to supplement through free agency and build through the draft. Like, that's essentially, you got to find 3 starters your first 3 days or your first 2 days. And in even 4th round, I think you got to find 3 starters in 4th round. You've got to find like a guy that can maybe come in, start the season, develop, and then like end of the season, be a starter.
Well, and you better have an excellent coaching staff.
Yeah.
You have a very young, a young team with a lot of unproven talent. You got to maximize the potential. You better have a very good coaching staff to, taking this approach, or you're going to be in deep trouble.
Yeah. They like Graham a lot. It feels like they met with him 3 times at the combine. Then they had the dinner with him at the pro day, then had him for a top 30 visit. I just think if he's there at 7, I could certainly see them going Graham.
No,
but I just don't. I just don't like defense round 1 personally.
No, me either.
But
you got a defensive-minded head coach. You got a first-time offensive coordinator. Give him as much help as humanly possible.
Yeah. And another thing too, just with the Fields, like, so important of getting him a tight end is he targets the tight ends a ton. Going back to his days in Chicago, even last year, it's just, and the Jets haven't had a tight end in years.
Trade for Dallas Goedert.
So important. Yeah, you could go after Goddard, or even Mark Andrews slips free.
Michael Mayer.
Yeah,
get him at a discount.
That was your guy.
I know.
I remember.
Dude, I'd be doing cartwheels. I'd have.
I actually really liked him coming out of the draft too.
I mean, it would be smart because you fill a hole that way, and you don't have to take a tight end. Like, you can essentially kind of delay that for a year and then focus on tackle, shoring up the defensive line, receiver, and then you can forget about tight end. Or you could just go all of it in the draft.
So what are you gonna do for the draft, man? You streaming? What are you doing?
I'm just gonna watch. I just like to watch. So
get your instant reactions up.
Yeah, see what they do. Hopefully
you gotta smile, man. The world's not coming to an end. It's gonna be fine. You look like you're so stressed.
I'm good.
He's been up late watching film.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, guys. Have a good one.
Good night, bro.
All right, so we actually have a draft expert that we can talk to, who I love talking to. What's up, man?
Expert. It's far from.
You are 100% expert. You're tweeting. You're doing Twitter Spaces. You do all kinds of shit, man. When do you sleep?
Soon, as of Sunday. Sunday, I'll sleep, bro.
For a week.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm getting ready for my show. Later on, I'm doing some prep, so I always listen to you guys. I saw the call online, so I figured I'd come in and say hello. Kevin, pleasure, man.
Pleasure's all mine. How you doing?
I'm well. Tyson, always good to see you, my friend.
Bro, so let's talk to me. Do you think we'll go from 1 to 7? Do you think a lot's going to change? Because I think some of these teams, there's some curveballs with the Patriots, Jaguars, and Raiders. What do you think?
Yeah, I think everyone has to. The truth is that no one knows shit right now. Nobody knows shit right now. I think the top 3 are locked in however they go. I agree. I think that it was you, Tyson, that said that, it looks like Will Campbell can go 4. And man, my take on that is I like Will Campbell. I do. I just don't know. I don't know if any of these tackles are really top 10 worthy. You know what I mean? They're top 10 worthy in this class. And I think that's the sum of all the parts of having a draft that's not really top heavy, right? Yeah. Is that, guys are going to get plucked because they might be real big needs like left tackle is for the Patriots that probably wouldn't have gone in the 20s in previous classes. So, it's interesting, man. I know today's you saw, I'm not a gambler, but I know that the odds really, really switched once McShay's, podcast came out this morning. He said he's hearing Genti to the Jaguars at 5
and Membu to the
Raiders, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see that. I could see that both happening, but the reality is we don't know. I don't think anybody really knows what's true or what's false.
So you're going to say what? You're going to say Ward, Hunter, Carter, Campbell, your first 4?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Carter and Hunter switched, but I think those are the top 3.
Okay.
And then Campbell, and so the draft starts at 5 in my opinion. The draft really starts at 5. I don't know if the Genti stuff, if I buy it. I know as much as as you guys do.
So if you were the Jaguars, who would you take? Mason Graham?
No, if I was the Jaguars, I don't think Listen, I don't think they're a team that's ready to compete right now. They're not a running back away from really pushing for a title. I think they're probably a year away.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I don't know if I would spend a top 5 pick on a running back in that situation. If it was the one missing piece, I could get with it.
Right.
And that's no shade on Genti. He's a hell of a player, but I would probably, I'd probably look in the defensive backfield. I mean, I happen to really like Will Johnson. I mean, I know Jahdae Barron's getting a lot of love these days. Maybe, just maybe, that's the spot that somebody trades into for one of those. For the guy they want to get ahead of the Raiders or the Jets for Membu. Watch the Niners. The Niners have a ton of picks.
Yeah,
The Niners have a ton of draft picks. The Niners have a ton of needs immediately and down the road on the offensive line, right? Their right tackle, McKivitz, stinks. Trent Williams is, arguably the best in the business, but he's going to be 36 years old, and they lost Aaron Banks, their left guard. You plop Membo in that wide zone scheme in San Francisco, I mean, that's a home run.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's a trade up spot. But if I'm the Jaguars, man, I'm looking on the defensive side of the ball, and it's probably in the defensive backfield. Maybe it's too rich for those guys as well, but again, that's what happens with a class that's really weak up top.
So then what do you do if you're the Raiders?
I take Membo.
Yeah.
I do. I would take Membo.
All right, so then in this world, then you're going to have the Jets going to be what, Mason Graham or Tyler Warren, or
I think the Jets. I think the Jets. If you like, the one thing I've noticed is that this regime is, and it's early, so it's relatively new, but I think you're not hearing as much noise. It's a lot of it's really tight-lipped over there, right? Mm-hmm. So the stuff that's being leaked as the Jets love this guy, like today, somebody who came out and said, was it Schefter that said the Jets are watch Jahdae Barron? Yep. You've heard that. You've heard how much they've now like Jahdae Barron, Shamar Stewart. You've heard how much they've liked Tyler Warren, how interested they are. The two names that you haven't heard are, even though they've met with them, are Tyler Warren and Mason Graham. Yeah. There's no leaks that are saying that they're all infatuated with Tyler Warren, or Membu and Mason Graham. So if I'm the Jets, I think that they're hoping that one of those two guys falls, and I guess that's the way they'd go. I personally, I would take Warren. Now, and I'm going to explain. I'll explain why.
You're taking Warren, assuming Membo's been taken previously.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, I agree. I completely agree with you. Because now the question I have for you is, would Mason Graham even be a good fit next to Quinnen, or is it kind of like you have to take one out to play the other?
So I don't. I mean, Mason Graham's a good player. There's no denying that he's he's a really good player. So I think if you put good players on the field, you figure it out. Schematically, I don't think in base defense that I think you're really going to hinder one of them, right? Because one of them is going to kind of have to move inside and play over the guard, or shade the center in that one tech role if they run a 4, if they run an even man front. So I don't like either of those two guys in there in base defense. My thing with Mason Graham is again, good player. I think I don't know if he's going to be special at the next level. The things that he does worked very well in college. Like he was a better player, a better athlete than most of the guys he lined up against in college. But where did he get hurt? Not hurt physically, but where did his game get hurt? Is he had a lot of trouble when teams doubled up on him on those duo blocks. Splitting the double teams and stuff like that. He gets moved off the ball pretty easily. And it's not because he's not strong. He's pretty strong. He's just not, he's not so like heavy set from the hips down. So he can get moved very easily. And again, everyone talks about Will Campbell and his short arms. They don't talk about Mason Graham, right? Mason Graham's got 31-inch arms as a defensive lineman who's not always winning the leverage battle and tries to win, with his speed, that's not gonna, those offensive linemen in the NFL get their arms on him, and he's gonna have some trouble disengaging. So I think that he'll be a good pro. I don't know if he's going to be a top 7 caliber worthy pro. Like I don't.
So if that's the case, I know Primetime was going to ask about this. It's like, if that's the case, is Tyler Warren a number 7 player, in the draft for you to get that excellent value, instant impact on offense? Do you see that out of him?
I do. Okay. I think, listen, I don't think he's Brock Bowers, and I know he's going to, the Jets fans are going to love to compare. If Warren is the pick, they're going to love to compare. Oh, we should have took a tight end last year. It was a better tight end. Yeah, he was a better prospect. Absolutely, Brock Bowers. But again, he's a different type of receiver, a different type of player. I think that Warren's got everything that, at least AG and Muji have been talking about, right? The resilience, the toughness, the guy, kind of guy who loves football, not afraid to, put his, nose in there and get, and kind of grind and do the dirty stuff. He's far from the, nuanced route runner of that Brock Bowers was, or even that Colson Loveland is.
Yeah.
But he does all of the things at a really good level, and I think that kind of mentality that he has, the stuff he shows on film, the hard work, that dog mentality, the constant go, I think, the understanding on, kind of how to find soft spots in the zone and become a quarterback's best friend. I think that'll work really well with Justin Fields. So to me, I think the drop off from, because if it's not Warren, you're definitely not going to get Loveland unless you trade all the way back and down round 1, and that's not going to happen. Right. I could see a trade down in round 2 or round 3 if they want. I think that's a lot more feasible. I don't think anyone's going to trade up in round 1, so the Jets trade down. So if you miss out on Warren and Loveland, that next tier of tight ends, although they're good, I don't know if you have anyone that I'm comfortable with saying, "Hey, this is our guy. This is our plug and play tight end." You got a lot of good developmental pieces, right? I love Terrence Ferguson. I think he's a really good player, but he's not complete yet. He can see a slow transition until he becomes good. Mason Taylor, same thing. Gunnar Helm, same thing. Harold Fannin is phenomenal at what he does, but I don't think that's the type of tight end that the Jets are going to be looking to get. That's what they signed Stone Smart to be. So, that drop
between. Sorry to cut you off. Between like offensive line, defensive line, and like tight end, which position do you think has like the greatest drop off from day 1 to day 2?
I think the tight end room does.
Really?
I do. And it's a deep class. But we're talking about guys that can come in and impact right away,
which the Jets need.
I think that it's the tight end room hands down. I happen to like the tackle group after the top. Like Membu's a great player. He's not my top rated tight end. He didn't grade out top for me. But that's just me. Everyone's eyes and everyone's scouting is different. I happen to like Connerly a lot. And Connolly's not talked about until the late 20s, so on and so forth. That he would be my choice if I had to choose any of the tackles. I think I'd take Connolly. But that next tier of tackles, I think there's a bunch of guys that can come in and play, whether it's 2nd or 3rd round. The guys like, you talked about some of them before. I heard Bubs was talking about Ozzie Trapillo. I think he's really good. Yeah. Kelvin Banks I think Kelvin Banks can come in and play. And again, all these guys are going to have, they're going to hit some road bumps and they're going to hit some hurdles. They're not, they're not perfect prospects, but
if what you're saying is the case, then could the Jets get kind of not cute, clever and say, okay, we'll go Tyler Warren 1st round, go wide receiver 2nd round, and then go tackle 3rd round?
Yeah, I just did a mock draft for a publication that I put out, and that's exactly. No, actually, I didn't take a wide receiver 2nd. I took Tyler Warren in the 1st. I took a safety in the 2nd, and then I took a tackle. I traded down in the 2nd, and then I took a tackle with my third pick, and a wide receiver at my 2nd, 3rd pick. I ended up getting netting.
So you feel comfortable with that? You wouldn't be panicking like, oh shit, we're gonna be in deep trouble. Like it's gonna be more of a developmental guy that could be a liability. You think you can get a contributor
at tackle? No, yeah. I think you can get a guy that can come in and compete right away. I think
a 3rd round.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm changing my whole approach now. Then Dom,
there's guys
Shit told me this
like
2 weeks ago. What
listen.
the fuck?
I'll shoot some names out to you of guys that I like. I mean, Ariante Ursary, I don't think he'll make it to the third round. He could. Don't be surprised if he's like a late round 2 guy. Jonah Sava-Anea from Arizona. He's a big right tackle. He can play guard as well. He's got a lot of flexibility. Anthony Belton's another guy that, at 6'4", 336 pounds. I mean, that guy's just a road grader at right tackle. He'll be a third-round pick. You talked about Ozzie Trapillo. There's other guys down the road that, like, I would probably pluck a couple offensive linemen that have that guard tackle flexibility, like Sava-Anea and Anthony Belton, and say, hey, go into camp. Here's Okafor. Here's my 2 guys. You guys battle out. One of you guys is going to be the right tackle. One of you guys is going to be the pipeline guard for when we have to replace that next year, right?
So then if we do this approach, how do you handle wide receiver? Is it a deep class where you can get value in the 4th round or like that? Because I'm panicking about that. Like I'm freaking out already with this whole Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard shit.
Yeah, well, here's what you gotta. Here, at least this is my approach or the way I'm thinking about it. It's not ideal, but I'm just trying to think about this rationally, right? I don't know if you guys are expecting. I'm not expecting Justin Fields to come out here and throw for 4,800 yards and 40 touchdowns, right?
Right.
You have Garrett Wilson, who's your alpha, right? Mm-hmm. You know that you have Breece Hall, who's going to be really, really important in the pass game, let alone and the run game. And then if you spend high capital on a tight end, you know that that's going to be a thing. How important is wide receiver 2, right? The important part of wide receiver 2 would be give me a big body that can get out there, that can stalk block, that can crack down on the linebackers, that can really help the run game.
That's Lazard.
Reynolds, Lazard, Tyler Johnson. You already got 3 of those guys.
Yep.
So to me, although it's not ideal, again, speaking like a realist, I don't know if they're going to spend high capital on a wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if they wait until day 3 for one, because right now, how important is wide receiver 2?
I'll be drunk on Saturday. Jesus.
I think you got to have somebody that takes some attention off Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, but again, you have
could be Tyler Warren.
You have Tyler Warren. You have Breece Hall, and I'm not saying don't draft a guy, but maybe you can get a speed guy that could take the top and keep the safeties honest. But you have everything else. Again, I'm assuming, we don't know, but I'm assuming Engstrom has West Coast principles in his basis, so everything's going to be moving horizontally, right?
Yep.
So that stems well for those bigger guys on the outside that can't separate well, but can run the slants, can run those quick little stick routes. Tyler Warren across the middle, Breece Hall out of the backfield. Like, you might have your top 3, target guys on the team already if you draft a tight end early in Hall, Breece Hall, your tight end, and Garrett Wilson. I just don't know how much they're going to value wide receiver 2 right now.
Interesting. So if you had to make one shocking pick in the top 10, like we all know all the same names everybody's using the top 10 right now, what would be the shocker that catches us all by surprise? Like, I didn't see that one coming.
Not for the Jets, just for anyone.
Anyone in the top 10 that's going to shock us.
I mean, and I'll give you 2. One that's not too shocking because I think the NFL teams are going to like him a lot more is Kelvin Banks Jr., the tackle out of Texas. I think he's going to go higher than a lot of people expect. And Mykel Williams, the edge out of Georgia, he's really good. He's just really, really raw as a pass rusher right now, but he's going to come in and he's going to be a plus run defender on the edge right off the bat. And I think the teams are going to see that and say, hey, I got that. I'll develop him into a pass rusher. Similar to like when Jacksonville took Trayvon, whatever the guy's name that took first overall a couple years ago.
Yep. Trayvon
Walker. Yeah. That was all based on projection. He had no production his last year in school. But they said, hey, he does one thing really well. We're going to bet that we can develop him. And in year 3, he was pretty good. So I think Mykel Williams is the edge rusher that has a chance to make it in the top 10. I like him a lot to New Orleans. Don't be surprised if that's the pick.
I got two more for you. Shamar Stewart's an interesting name because Aaron Glenn could love this guy. You could see it. The Jets need help at edge. They got Will McDonald. They got Jermaine Johnson coming off an injury.
Mhm.
What do you think about Shamar Stewart? Is that just hype, like somebody trying to like piece things together, get interesting, or is there like any chance that actually happens?
God, I'd probably say for the Jets, there's not many picks that I would like throw something across the room. Shamar Stewart might be one of them. Because I just think that with the new regime, and that's not to say that I don't think we need an edge rusher. I think we need an edge rusher. We don't know what Jermaine Johnson's coming back. Will McDonald would be an outlier in regard to his build and his size in a Steve Wilks and Aaron Glenn scheme. So I don't know if they're going to see him as a 3-down player. After those two guys, I mean, you're talking what, Eric Watts and Michael Clemens? Yep. God help us. Yeah. So I think edge is a need, but I think Shamar Stewart would kind of be like back in the 2020 draft when Joe Douglas swung for the home run of Mekhi Becton instead of passing on the easy single of Tristan Wirfs, right? Yep. I think that's what Shamar Stewart at 7 would be. It's trying to hit a home run when right now, man, you need a shit ton of singles. You don't need a home runs right now. You need building blocks.
Now, what's your take on Shedeur Sanders where, everybody's saying, oh, he's not going to fall. He's not going to fall. But I'm like, who's going to take him? Other than the Saints, I don't know who takes him because I don't think the Giants can afford to take him. The Jets aren't going to do it. Maybe they try to trade back. Like, where do you see him going?
Yeah, I would have bet the house, even as late as last week, that he was going number 3 to the Giants. I still think he'll go to the Giants, but now it seems that it won't be at 3 and maybe watch them for a trade back in, whether it's above Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh passes on him definitely at the end of the first round. And it's a shame too, because I'm one of the few, like I really like Shedeur Sanders. He graded out as my best quarterback in the draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Over
Ward. Not by much. I mean, we're talking, a couple tenths of a point, but I think there's a lot of negative smoke around Shedeur Sanders that comes with him being Deion's son.
Yep.
And not necessarily with the production on the field. Like, give me a quarterback that has really brought 2 programs from the brink and really, really brought them to the light, who throws at an 80% completion percentage clip, has 40 touchdowns in multiple years, doesn't turn the ball over, isn't stupid with the ball. It doesn't have the strongest arm. I know that's what people like to say, but he's got an NFL arm. He's not Drew Bledsoe, but he's not, he doesn't have
what's his pro comparison then? Who would you compare him to?
I've in my scouting report that I wrote for him, I compared him to Chad Pennington.
There you go.
Heady. He's a high IQ player, understands, reads defenses very well, can get through his progressions, pre-snap, pro snaps, not confused. Throws guys open, throws a really, really catchable ball in tight windows. Just doesn't have like the zip that some of these guys, doesn't have Josh Allen or Drew Bledsoe's arm. Right. He's Chad Pennington for me.
Prime time draft question.
A more mobile version of Chad.
Yeah, and I mean, not much more, but a little bit more mobile version than Chad Pennington.
Got anything for him prime time? I hammer with questions. I love talking to Doms. I love the draft because like there's so many scenarios you can try to think of. It's like, well, if this, if that, what about this? Like you try to find holes in things.
Yeah. I'm just curious if like you've done a lot of work on more of like the day 3 guys, because that's usually what I don't get into. I don't go much further beyond day 2. So like edge guys, wide receiver guys, like
so there's an edge guy. There's a bunch of guys. Some of the edge guys that I really like. There's a kid out of SMU, Elijah Roberts. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's, again, similar to Michael Williams. Right now, he's NFL ready. He's a plus run defender at the edge. He's 280 pounds. So in passing situations, you can move him inside and have him rush off as a defensive tackle. His game is very similar to what you get in JFM, right? He's a power rusher, something that the Jets really don't have is a true power rusher. He's not Will McDonald. He's not going to, bend and dip around the outside edge of a tackle. He's not a guy that's going to hit you with a spin move, but he's a guy that's, at 6'3.5", 6'4", 280 pounds is going to go right through your chest. And he's going to set the edge and he's going to play ridiculously good run defense, and he can rush from the inside. Like, he's got that guard, he's got that tackle and flexibility. I think it's a prototype, a body that defense on the defensive line that we really don't have right now. We hope that we have that in Eric Watts, but who knows what Eric Watts really is, right? That's a guy that I absolutely love. He's a top 50 player for me, but more than likely he'll probably go day 3. So, and I know for a fact, this is the little hot take here, the Jets have done a lot of homework on him. I know that they met, they were out in SMU. They talked to his coaches. They did background checks on him, so they're doing some homework on him. I think he would be a perfect complement as a third edge to what you have right now in Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald.
So Dom, you just dropped like a crazy amount of knowledge. What are you doing for the draft? And you streaming? What are you doing? Where are you streaming?
I'll be with the Talking Jets guys.
Yep.
Ryan and Matt and Greenbean. They do something, so I'm sure I'm hopping on there at some point. I was asked to hop on a Detroit Lions podcast on Friday night, so I'll be doing that. And outside of that, nothing much, man. I got a busy weekend, busy Saturday at least with my boys and baseball and stuff like that. So,
there you go. Well, dude, first of all, thanks for coming on. Thanks for doing the interview a couple weeks ago, dude. I love your stuff, dude. And like you crank out all kinds of tweets and all kinds of information. You're always doing spaces and everything. Like you're really applying yourself, man. It's so cool to see like you're getting the recognition that you deserve.
I appreciate it, Tyson. Like I said, I love you guys. I love your show. Happen to have it on here. I saw the call in, so I figured I'd stop in and say hello, man.
Well, the thing is, before you try to get sleep next week, you got to come on and give us your recap of the draft.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. Shoot me a DM. I'm there.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, man.
Guys.
Good stuff, man.
Later, dude. That guy don't sleep.
Yeah, he knows his shit, man.
Yeah, he is on X all the time. He's always doing spaces, and every time I browse through like shows, he's always on somebody's show talking like this guy is like going for it, like really trying to like make a name for himself. He's doing a hell of a job, man. Him and Greenbean go at it.
Dropping knowledge. Love it.
Dude, he's really good. All right. So that was the informative part of our show where you feel educated and you feel like you've learned something. And now
What's up?
Entertainment. Let's go.
So V-Man, we got to make you and Primetime hang out at Jake's party on Thursday.
I'll do this.
That'd be good because I need somebody to give me a refresher on what's happening because I've been in the dark because I had a health scare.
You had a health
All
scare.
right.
What happened?
What's going on?
I had a failed root canal and it got infected to the point where my jaw was like this.
Oh shit!
Damn.
I had to go to an emergency room, had all of this, and I was hopped up on antibiotics for weeks. Literally, the worst part about it was when I had gotten the root canal, the dentist had told me, the dentist I went to said, it's a 50-50, 50-50 I should extract it, 50-50 I can do a root canal. I said, why don't we just do the root canal, the extraction, so then if it fails, I don't have to pay extra for an extraction. And then so no, let's just do it. And then they coerced me, they talked me into getting the root canal. Then this happened. I called them. They said, oh, it's nothing. We'll just give you some antibiotics. It passed. The discomfort passed. Next thing you know, it starts flaring up again. I go to them. It's it's the same problem. I go to them for another tube. Can I get something for this? And we'll have to schedule you. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right here. You're telling me I wasn't right there, but I was just there the other day. Can you just simply send me a medication? Then I go to urgent care. They give me some antibiotics. It's still it's getting worse. I noticed my entire side of my mouth is just inflamed. I had to go to an emergency room, and they tell me, they scan it and they say, yeah, you're gonna need this tooth out. I go to their dental center the next day, get the tooth out. The dentist tells me that, had I seen this tooth when you had gone into the dentist, I would have told you to just don't even bother with the root canal, just take it out.
Jesus.
Sounds brutal, man.
That sounds terrible. I'm glad you're doing better, man. So now you're better. You're off all your painkillers and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm off. I can finally drink.
It's important. Drinking is important. You need to get back on that. Rum does kill germs, which is positive.
Glad to get off the antibiotics. I was able to pay attention because there was just so much discomfort in my mouth. I didn't want to enjoy it. I couldn't enjoy anything. I couldn't enjoy food. I couldn't enjoy watching because just all I wanted to do was just rest. Just try to sleep so that I wouldn't notice anything.
That makes sense.
But
That's
I,
it.
I haven't paid attention to anything. I also want to say this, Tyson. I was looking at what you were doing your walks for mental health. I wanted to give you a round of applause for that because
Oh, thank you, man.
obviously it was like right around the time you were doing it was my uncle's birthday, who obviously lost his battle with mental health. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sorry to
Big
hear
deal.
that.
So, yeah, it's been hard to believe it's been two would have been what almost a year. Like this December will mark 2 years since his passing.
Oof.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, dude.
But so that it was so yeah, I always appreciate that. I wish I could talk football. I wish I looked up and like I said, my life's been crazy. But I do agree with a lot of the sentiments coming out here. Look, Aaron Glenn's proficiency, no matter what he says, he likes to say that he's the coach of the whole team. He's a defensive. His proficiency is on the defense. You have experienced defensive coordinators, so they can work with later round picks.
Yep.
Your offense here, like it's a raw. It's you got a greenhorn offensive coordinator, so you want to give him the best possible offensive talent that you can get your hands on, whether that be getting him a tackle.
This may be the first time I agree with V, man.
Whether it's getting him a tackle or it's getting some playmaker in the first round with the tight end. Name slipping my brain right now, but like that's why I feel like the path you have to go here because, like I said, like when it comes to drafting, I think, especially like in this situation, you want to go with your team, whatever your team's weakness is, whether it's roster wise or talent or coaching wise. You want to go. That's how you want to approach it.
How are the Knicks doing?
Right now, not too good. They're down 11.
Again, they played like shit in the first game too for like 3 quarters.
Yeah, they're down by 8 going into the fourth last game.
Jesus
I know.
Christ, I
Well,
can't
you want to know what? Yeah, no, it's tough, man. No, like, I was hoping that enjoy this game.
Well, it's still early. It's like what, second quarter, third quarter? They got time.
Third quarter, they got time. Maybe the Garden crowd will.
So now you've had a rough couple weeks here. How much would it mean to you to put a big smile on your face if Mr. Primetime met you on Thursday at Jake's party?
That'd be good. I can give you some. I can give you some cooking tips. I can show you how to make. I can give you tips on how, like I said, because I do make a slamming pork shoulder.
He can make you a pork shoulder, Primetime.
How are you going to get it there?
No, I can give you tips on how you make.
Give you cooking tips.
Yeah, you could do that right now.
No, but he wants to do it in person. You can get the hands-on experience. You can be more animated and share it, have a drink with you. You guys have been friends for a long time but never met.
No, it'd be great. Like I can tell you that. I can tell you how to make. I can tell you about what is it?
You can do a shot together.
Oh, yeah, shots. I'll do shots.
Trying to do this on draft night.
This is the content we want. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is the content we all need right here. That'd be that's just what we're looking for. That'd be an incredible draft night.
You can even pick what Jets here, where I can go with the vintage name it.
You can pick his jersey for him all the time.
We go the vintage name it, the the ugly Sauce Gardner jersey, or the new Brees Hall.
We know what you can do. You guys can both do that. Like he could pick your jersey, you could pick his jersey. That'd be perfect. This is what I'm talking about. We can make miracles here.
Why are you trying to do this to me?
You'd make his day. Look how happy right now. He's already smiling right now, thinking to get a chance to hang out. Look at this.
I think he'd rather meet you than me.
No, he wants to hang out with you. He's talking about sharing cooking tips with you. You're already going to be in the city. Your excuse is your hand. You don't sit on your hand. You just sit there. You have a beer in the other hand.
Like I said, it would be one thing if I was already going to be in the city, like where I work. Then it's like, all right, I'll just stop by. No issue. To travel all the way out there. I'm like, I don't think.
The thing is, I'm going in there and I'm literally coming back out of. I'm literally going in the day after I work. So literally after a shift, I'm going in less than 3 hours of sleep. Then I'm going back into the city.
He's got no excuses. Why? See, I'll text Shake now for you. I got it. I'll take care of all this for you. Get this arranged.
I already got all the details.
So you got to go then.
I was planning on streaming.
V-Man in prime time. Stream from there. They'll live stream from Jake's. He won't care.
What, on my cell phone?
Yeah, just like you could go live, you and him talk about it. Like, what do you think here? Who do you want? I tune into that.
Yeah, no, I just gotta get myself. Too bad the weather's gonna be rainy. I would have probably brought some.
Oh, it's gonna rain too. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna.
Just drink more.
Rainy that day.
Walk faster.
No, because like I said, I would have probably, taken something out. Had a smoke break like in between the commercials outside. I'm not gonna smoke in the fucking rain.
It's all about the
See what you're
priorities.
trying to set me up for here? Like
Excitement. You live a little. You have some smile, and you could prime time could show you his new tattoo.
I'm not supposed to get it wet, right? I shouldn't be in the rain with it.
You wear a shirt.
Yeah,
no,
the shirt
I-
gets wet and all moldy.
I'm still waiting to get my tattoo because if I don't get it with my sister, she will fucking beat the shit out of me.
You didn't get your tattoo yet?
No, my sister got fired, so she doesn't have the money for a tattoo.
Oh, come on,
Sorry,
damn
man.
it.
No, but like it's a personal tattoo, so it's it's like we have to get it together as family. So
No, it makes sense. Well, prime time's family. You can get with prime time. You can get one
it's like that.
after the party. Do that. Make a whole night of this thing. Draft party and tattoos.
I don't know,
I
like
don't have it in me.
like that. I've been waiting to get that tattoo forever, but like every time I want to talk to this, like something always pops up with her. But like I said, it's a tattoo for our grandmother. So, I understand. Like it has to be done right.
I agree.
It has to be done right.
I'll give you very wise words. You never half-ass a tattoo. I assure you of that. You just with you the rest of your life, you're gonna get it covered up and it's never what you want.
No, it's like
Make sure you actually meet with the person that's going to be doing it for like a few hours. Like that's what I do.
Get a sketch done.
My sister knows the purse. My sister's picked the purse and she trusts them. Yeah, like I said, mine. Like if I don't remember, it's the Taino pictoglyph of the cookie. I'll just pull it up. You can just pull it up on my phone. Like my phone right here.
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just pull it up.
You just show Kevin on Thursday. You'll be hanging out with him. He could text it to me.
Yeah, it's like let's see what we got here.
What are we?
Yeah.
This is like key off-season content right here.
3 days before the draft, he's going through his photos. Oh, that's cool, dude. Looks like a frog.
Yeah, that's the coqui frog, the national frog of. It's my grandmother. My grandmother adored the frog because she was very proud of who she was. So it was always special. My grandmother held the frogs near and dear to her heart. It's a lot of people in Puerto Rico do. It's like they fall asleep to they fall asleep. The songs of the frogs.
Wait, what's the song?
Well, you never heard a coqui frog make a sound?
No. What does it sound like?
It literally sounds like its name. I'll just play it.
I wanted to hear you make the sound.
I'll just play the sound.
Just why do we do this? I don't understand.
It just
We went from a
Oh. That sounds cute.
Holy Christ.
yeah, it's like literally. This literally is like the sound. If you ever visit Puerto Rico,
No, I
if
haven't.
you look, that's all. If you ever take a trip to Puerto Rico, that's all you're gonna hear in the middle of the night. That's all
true. I did hear
you
that.
hear in the middle of the night. Well, you've been there.
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh yes, you hear that. That's the sound. That's what you hear. In fact, when I was on my trip there, like my tour guide was telling me this story of how they tried to bring the frogs to the States, and they on a plane, and they all died.
Damn it, Joe.
The frogs are so patriotic they refuse to live outside of Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's what it is.
They sacrificed their souls for Puerto Rico.
Well, I mean, the story is kind of half true because there's a whole bunch of
The story's half true?
Well, no, because somehow they ended up in Hawaii.
What are we doing? V-Man, I'm glad you're doing better, dude. What time should prime time meet you on Thursday?
Stop it.
What time? I'll send you his phone number. So make sure you call him and just keep bothering until he answers.
I was like, oh, like he can meet me whenever he meets. Like, he doesn't need to meet me at any specific time. Just whenever when everybody else is showing up, he show
I'll
up.
wake up with a change of heart on Thursday. I'll let you know.
I'll work on this for you, man. I know that means a lot to you. We don't want to disappoint people, so Prime Time's a nice guy. He wants to see you smile.
Have a good evening. Let's hope the Knicks don't disappoint us tonight. Although by the way, I don't know if you saw the news about the MLB news with Judge becoming Captain America.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was a couple of days ago.
It's ironic.
Why is it
Because-
ironic?
Because Primetime's a Mets fan. So if you root for Team USA, you're rooting for Judge. If I'm rooting for Team Puerto Rico, I'm rooting for Lindor.
That's not true. I'm rooting for Team USA. I'm not rooting for Aaron Judge. I'm rooting for
Yeah,
USA.
but he's the captain of Team USA, and I'm rooting for Lindor.
Doesn't matter.
Captain of Team Puerto Rico.
That doesn't matter.
That's always goes back. B-Man, have a good night, man. We appreciate you calling. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thanks. Peace.
Later, man.
We're going from Dom to that.
That was painful.
Oof. Let's do this.
Frog was funny as shit, though.
Holy cow, the frog! I just couldn't. And he was trying to be so sentimental about his grandmother. I was trying to be respectful as long as I could. I just couldn't take it.
The comments are gonna roast you for that one.
I just fuck it. What am I supposed to do? Like anybody else in the spot, it's impossible, dude. I was trying so hard to control myself. All right. Somehow we got. I don't know what the hell happened to the show. Let's go to the biggest Sam Darnold fan in the world.
What?
What's up, man? How
What's going
you
on, Jose?
What did I spend the last 20 minutes?
I'm still trying to figure that out too.
Somehow the frogs went to Hawaii. I'm still lost on that one.
Yeah, I thought they killed themselves on the plane. Right?
We're to get demonetized because of suicidal frogs. Just like, come on, man. Jesus Christ. How you been, Jose?
How are you? How are you guys?
Good. Man. How are you?
I'm doing better than I've been the past couple weeks. I've been physically 10. The past couple weeks, more tense than usual, which is why I never reached out, Tyson.
That's all right. Well, are you doing better?
Yes.
That's
Now
good.
I'm doing better.
Well, good to hear, man.
Thank God.
We got to set up a meeting with you and Tyson. That's what we got to do. I flew out there. I met Jose.
You have a different budget than I have.
No, I don't.
You're getting fucking all these fancy tattoos and shit. I'm just trying to buy Gatorade.
I'm still paying off that trip.
Congrats on finishing the marathon.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
PT. Congrats on your new tattoo.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Congrats on your new injury.
that. One after the other this year.
Whose husband did that to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is suspicious, right? Every time Primetime goes out and it's like it comes back when the injury's like, oh,
Yeah.
it was the heavy bag. No, I don't think so. Some suspicious stories around
Well,
here.
no, that would mean I did this to somebody else then.
Yeah, but defending you probably the guy probably married or something like that, and the husband came chasing after you.
First there.
Yep. Or he was fighting for love. He had a fight. He was trying to fight to get the girl he wanted. He had a fight to, never know.
There could be dating stories soon.
Yeah.
First there was the sidewalk.
The sidewalk, the snow. Now it's the heavy bag.
I call it BS.
Yep. Next will be a puddle. He fell in a puddle somewhere.
So, can I say what I think the Jets are going to pick?
Go ahead.
Tyler or
Okay.
I think the Raiders are going to snake them more.
That's outstanding.
That may be your best one ever,
That's
Armand.
outstanding.
I give up. I completely give up at this point. If you know any frog that are going to harm themselves, please call 1-800-RIBBIT. It's just like a draft week, and this is what we've come down to. Draft week.
I can't.
It's just got nothing left.
I'll be live Thursday.
Have a good night, man. I'm glad you're feeling better.
I can't read. I can't.
Good talking to you, Jose, man. Good
I
stuff.
love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you
man.
too, man.
Go, Armand,
Oh,
you're
Armand
going
said,
to hell.
he said, who do you want?
Armand, you're going to hell for that.
He is gonna go to hell.
Love you guys.
Later, man. Have a good night.
Later.
All right. That's the funniest one he's ever had. He's got a lot of funny ones.
That's
Holy
phenomenal.
shit. All right. Lindor, 3-run home run. Mets lead 5-0.
Let's go.
We need a Knicks
That's
score.
on fire.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We would do a stream on Thursday, but prime time is going to Jake's party, so we can't do that now. So that's out.
Still streaming
Got it.
Thursday.
Why? Everybody's streaming.
You're not gonna hop on? You're gonna make me do it by myself?
All to what? To the Jets pick, and that's it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I'll just do 7 picks. I want to sit down. I like to drink.
All right, if you'd rather enjoy it, that's fine.
We did his first. I mean, it's up to you. Do his first 7 picks.
That's fine.
But
Yeah,
the
do
chat
whole round.
ruins it, though. I get sidetracked by them.
All you need is a piece of paper. You cover up the chat right when the Jets go on the clock, and you're fine. That's what I always do. It's your call, man.
All right, we'll figure
Let
it
me
out.
know.
Thank you guys for joining us. 3 more days so we can overreact and say you had a great draft or a bad draft. Who knows? We'll talk to you later.
Later.
1-800 Ribbit.